Is the all-new 6th generation Toyota 4Runner better than our Ford Bronco? Spoiler alert, yes, in many ways it really is.
But first, here's how much the Toyota 4Runner costs.
My parents owned a first generation Toyota 4Runner, pretty much what's on my shirt right now, when I was a kid. And I loved that thing, had the removable roof. I have a real affinity for the Toyota 4Runner. The one we're driving is the Trailhunter version, which is the off-roadiest of Toyota 4Runners.
I like this material here. It looks like it'd be super durable and won't show any fingerprints or dust.
And if you look really, really closely, and this is like a little Easter egg, you can tell it's a Toyota because aesthetically it looks like what you would expect a rugged off-roader to look like inside. And I also like that, you know, over here for the climate controls, you got these big grippy knobs, the kind of things you could operate even with gloves on. All sorts of little bins, and there's 12 cup and bottle holders.
And a little storage bin up here. The center console is a little bit small, but the rest of the storage and the doors and the dash.
Even this little bin here next to the grab handle, there's like a slot to put some stuff, or big obvious phone zone. We have a wireless phone charger in here.
There's even a little hook here. I tried to put my purse on it, but I think it's meant for a trash bag.
Toyota has a reputation for creating pressure point free seats, and I'm finding that here. Also good lateral support. When you're driving off-road, having seats that hold you in place when you're bouncing around are lovely. Seated behind my ideal front seat position, there's plenty of knee room, my head clears, no problem. Kiddo, how about you?
The outboard is pretty good, but the middle spot isn't so great because my feet, it's tight.
Yeah. In that middle position, if I put a foot on either side, I do fit reasonably well. Oh, and Kiddo, how do you find climbing in and out of the Toyota 4Runner that we have?
It's pretty good, but only because there's a step there.
I appreciate that every seat has a handle except the driver's seat. I have a hard time getting in there.
A couple more details in back. We've got standard rear seat vents, and then we have a tumble feature, partly to aid access to the available third row, which is not included in ours, but also it just gives you really easy access to the cargo area. Those second row seats do also have a recline function. For cargo space, there's 48.4 cubic feet in the standard version. Then if you go with the iForce Max engine, it's 42.6 cubic feet. On most 4Runner trims, there is a foot-activated hatchback. Hey, and you can get it on most kicks. I accidentally set it off earlier while I was shooting some video underneath. An elevated load floor, and the reason why it's elevated is because there's a battery pack on the iForce Max engine-equipped 4Runners. There's a little mini underfloor section here where there's like some towing paraphernalia, store it as you wish. There's another little nook that you can store some stuff in. And actually, in versions that don't have the iForce Max battery in this space, there's actually an available third row, though based on the available space and the dimensions I've seen in the press materials, that's gonna be a very cozy third row. One more essential 4Runner feature is that roll down window. Keep in mind that when the window is down, you're not supposed to use the rear hatch. Close this thing with the window in the lower position, it can cause some damage. So if you wanna operate the hatch, put the window in the up position. I do like though that we've got these controls where not only do they move the window up and down, but if you just push them, they'll either lock or unlock. That's all the functionality in the back of the Toyota 4Runner, but if you demand impeccable functionality in your entire life, including your eyewear, consider Flying Eyes Eyewear. They have these incredibly thin and bendable temples that make them comfortable under a headset or a helmet, perfect for pilots and motorcyclists, but also normal commuters like you. If you're ready to buy aviation-grade eyewear that's the most comfortable eyewear you've ever experienced, whether they're sunglasses or eyeglasses, click the link in the description below to learn more about Flying Eyes. 10% off if you use the promo code Micah. Sweetie, what's the car seat situation?
There are 3 top tethers and 2 sets of lower anchors in the outboard positions that are covered with latch flaps. I'm 5'2", behind a workable front seat position for myself. There is room for a rear-facing car seat back there.
As for safety, neither the NHTSA nor IIHS have rated this generation 4Runner just yet, but we have a complete, very comprehensive suite of active driver assist technology, plus 9 airbags standard. Family, what do we think? Is the Toyota 4Runner family friendly?
Family friendly.
Family friendly.
Rear window test. All the way down.
Hi.
Please enjoy your Max Crumbly book. Armrest test. Driving in a comfortable 8 and 4, I have very easy access to the inboard and outboard armrest.
But
outboard,
it's so hard.
It's so plastically, it's essentially unpadded. And then it's a little bit better padded inside, but not to a degree that I would find too helpful. 50% outboard, 55% inboard. Moving onward to style. I I like that it feels super contemporary while also respecting the designs of the 4Runners that came before it.
I like how sculpted the body is. It almost looks like a wasp, how much the fenders flare out and how narrow it gets. Brawny, awesome.
The general shape works for me, the details work for me, and what really works for me is the color. That Everest color is available not just on the Trailhunter, but we do have the Trailhunter, so what distinguishes it from other 4Runners? We've got these bronze 18-inch wheels, wider fenders, which also appear on the TRD Pro, ARB roof rack, sliders that are actually attached to the frame, so very durable. Okay, we got the snorkel, and Evie has some thoughts on this, so you're gonna hear more from her in just a second. Up front, Rigid Industries fog lights, and they actually transition from yellow to white. In Trailhunter, guys, the 4Runner looks absolutely awesome. And since it's nearly 70 grand, it really should. We are big fans of the style of the Toyota 4Runner, but what do you guys think? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Tell us in the comment section. Also, thank you guys for watching. Whether you like a video, leave a comment that's thoughtful or kind.
However you support us, if you choose to support us, thank you.
Moving onward to In Motion. I've mentioned several times that we're driving the Trailhunter version of the 4Runner. It's special because it has these old man emu shocks, which is such a fun name if you're unfamiliar with the brand. It's very off-road focused. Consequently, when we move the steering wheel here, you get all this body movement and it has kind of a floppy quality. Unsurprisingly then, when you get into the corners, what it's not doing is defying your expectations of what an off-roader will drive like on road. But that's not me complaining, that's merely acknowledging reality. But all those traits will come into play in just a moment. An element I really do like is the powertrain. This is the iForce Max 4-cylinder turbocharged hybrid. You got electric torque, so you have immediate power off the line, and then in this case you've got a turbocharged engine, so you have all that turbocharged power that comes in. I'm just gonna floor it. Whee! We got that downshift nice and quick from the 8-speed automatic transmission. It just pulls really strong. We got a few different modes to play around with: Eco, Normal, and Sport mode. And what I found is that when you put it into Sport mode, it's like pushing the bass boost button on your boombox if you grew up in the 80s or 90s, where...
Oh, wow.
It sounds like a monster truck in a library.
That's very funny. But keep in mind that that's artificial sound. That's only what it sounds like inside.
Yeah, so don't tell all your friends, hey, look, my car is so cool, and then drive past them and they're like,
ha ha! Because it's a hybrid, we have regenerative braking built into the brake pedal here. Let's see if I can come to a very smooth, buttery limo stop. It's hard to... Nope.
No.
It's like it's trying to fight its way through the regen. If you want the absolute smoothest deceleration, go with the engine that is not the hybrid, the base iForce. That gets all the regen out of the equation. That's what I think about driving the Toyota 4Runner. What does Sweetie think? Evie's at the wheel. We're doing some slow speed stuff. How do you find maneuvering this in tight quarters?
I find it to be quite maneuverable.
Even with a fairly slow steering ratio?
It's light enough that it works.
We're entering this corner with some speed. Do you feel confident when steering it?
I'm less picky than you are, so I think it drives fine. One thing I do not like, though, is that snorkel over there.
What? But it can go through water.
I mean, when I first saw it, I was like, that thing is cool looking. But I rolled down the windows, I jammed on the accelerator, and all of a sudden it sounded like a demon was trying to drag me back to hell. What?
Which does suggest you originally came from hell. Windows down, give us a taste.
That's crazy, right?
Snorkel issues aside, what about visibility?
Visibility over my right and left shoulder is a bit limited by the big pillars.
But we do have standard blind spot warning. If we were in the market for a 2-row off-road SUV, are there any game killers that would keep you from driving a 4Runner?
That snorkel might be a game killer for the Trailhunter, but otherwise no game killers here.
Excellent. Now we should see how the 4Runner Trailhunter does off-road. We are off-road. There are many permutations of 4Runner. You can get a rear-wheel drive version. They've got some that have sort of a basic 4-wheel drive setup. There's one that has like a locking center differential. But we've got the Trailhunter, which is the most off-roady version. So what are we working with? We've got 33-inch Toyo Open Country AT tires. Adjacent to the 4-wheel drive controller is this drive mode selector. I'm going to go over here to Multi-Terrain Select, or MTS, and that gives us a few different off-road options: deep snow, mud, sand, dirt. Also helpful in the Trailhunter, we've got a locking rear differential, and as frequent off-roaders, that locking rear differential in our Bronco has proved invaluable. This camera view, there are so many different visualizations around the vehicle that no matter what kind of terrain you're trying to make your way through, you will have a clear view on the thing you are trying not to hit. We have more ground clearance, an extra 2 inches. It's 8.1 inches with the standard 4Runner, and we have 10.1 inches here. And then we also have a stabilizer bar disconnect. You get a little bit more articulation in the front end. One of the distinctions between the Trailhunter version of the 4Runner and the TRD Pro. The TRD Pro has Fox shocks, and you got the old man Emu. Getting some big bumps. This is more than manageable, not too abusive. So that floppiness that you feel on road does have a purpose off-road. This is pretty easy stuff. We have an event over here that we've run our Bronco through and one of our press car Wranglers through. Off-road challenges never look challenging when you look at it on video, but I'll tell you why this is tricky. You've got kind of very loose, rocky, sandy sections, and then there's like a route that's a step up. I'm not gonna just plow into the most hard part of this. I'm going to use some smart line choices. I am going to use all of the tools available to ensure that we get up with minimum drama. 4 low, stabilizer bar disconnect, rear locker engaged, and I'm going to pop us over from sand into rock. Let's make our way up this little challenge here, shall we? Are you taking cleansing breaths, sweetie?
Yes.
Smart. The right line is usually my preferred, but I might take the left line here.
Oh, we need to move the quad.
That was shockingly drama-free, and I think some of that might have been super killer line choice on my part.
Good job!
Yeah, we made that up without too much drama. In our own vehicle, we've taken the less optimal line because we're willing to take on that damage, but we want to return the 4Runner in good condition, so I think the smart line was the smart choice. Good job, Trailhunter. All right, let's move on to remarks. The 4Runner comes with a standard 8-inch screen, and it includes like a little USB port on the side, which I really like, standard. And then we've got the optional 14-inch screen, which comes on the higher trims. With either screen, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless smartphone connectivity comes standard.
There are shortcuts on the side, and normally I complain about how small they are, but this screen is so huge that they are large. The menus are laid out in a way that I find easy to understand, and I appreciate the physical volume knob and how enormous it is.
Here I've got a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, and this appears on every trim except for the base SR5 trim, which has the 7-inch digital gauge cluster. Some of the settings for the vehicle are in here versus in here. I think it might be easier, like let's say turning on and off certain safety features, if it was just in a single consolidated space over here rather than having to dive into this with the steering wheel controls. And now let's take a look under the hood in a test inspired by my buddy Brian. Here's how you open the hood on a Toyota 4Runner. Here's where you check the engine oil. Here's where you add engine oil, and over on the right side, that's where you add the washer fluid. And if you're wondering what the 4Runner's horn sounds like, that's not as manly a horn as I was expecting. All right, let's talk engine choices. The base engine is a 2.4-liter turbocharged engine. If you want to add 4-wheel drive, that'll be an extra $2,000. And there is a slight fuel economy drop versus those numbers when you get the limited trim. Then there's the iForce Max, which is a hybrid version of that engine. More power, it only comes with 4-wheel drive. With either engine, you're going to get an 8-speed automatic transmission and a max tow rating of 6,000 pounds.
Sweetie, please share our trim recommendation.
I will. Our trim recommendation is which trim will give you the essential Toyota 4Runner features you'd regret not getting, but at the lowest possible price. The base SR5 trim includes manual front seats with 2-way driver lumbar, manual climate control, a full suite of driver assist technology, and smart key access. It's basic, but it has the essentials, except we would definitely spend $2,000 extra to get 4-wheel drive because it would feel really weird driving a 2-wheel drive 4Runner. Alternatives to the 4Runner include the Honda Passport and the Jeep Grand Cherokee, but the primary competitors are the Jeep Wrangler and the Ford Bronco. Returning to this video's original premise, is the Toyota 4Runner better than our Bronco? Well, an easy one is recalls. Yeah, this is already better than our Bronco. Right now, there are 3 recalls on our Bronco that can't be attended to because Ford doesn't have enough parts to solve those problems. Now, all of those recalls are addressing issues that our Bronco doesn't actually have, but it's not like confidence inspiring. To be clear, our Bronco has actually been super reliable for us, but others haven't had such a good time. Another way the 4Runner is better is that it is quieter in here than our Bronco by a pretty large margin. That's one of the advantages of having a fixed roof. Conversely, we really like having a soft top, especially where we live where we're not driving that fast at any point. The wind noise isn't really a problem, and the sun coming in is a really big advantage. Some areas where the Bronco shines, I think in terms of ride quality, ours has the Sasquatch package. That means front and rear lockers, raised suspension, just a very, very capable vehicle while still feeling far more agile than this Trailhunter does on road. Am I lying?
You are not lying. And the way you activate the drive modes in the Bronco, I find to be extremely user-friendly.
Yeah, we had a few times going in from, like 2 high to 4 high or 4 low. I wasn't sure what I needed to do to make it happen. It was just kind of between modes. That has never happened with our Bronco.
But an advantage that the 4Runner has over the Bronco is interior usability. I have 0 cup holders in the back of the Bronco.
Yep.
This has 4.
If you like small storage, 4Runner is definitely the winner. One area where the 4Runner struggles is in terms of price. Bronco makes broad availability of their Sasquatch package. It's not cheap, but you can get it on the absolute base trim and have a very, very capable off-roader. If you want the most capable version of 4Runner when you're driving off-road, you're gonna have to buy something like the TRD Pro or this Trailhunter, and you're spending upwards of $70,000. You can certainly go off-road in cheaper 4Runners, but if you want the max capability, you gotta spend that big time money. The base Bronco trim is also notably cheaper than the base 4Runner SR5 trim. A more comparable version would be SR5 versus Big Bend, which is the trim that we own. The Big Bend Bronco is notably better equipped. You got heated seats, you got automatic AC, and 4-wheel drive comes standard. It's a $2,000 add-on in the 4Runner. MSRPs on 4Runners are pretty high compared to Bronco and some other vehicles out in the market, but there's no guarantee you're gonna get yours at MSRP. For example, the Trailhunter, I saw many that were on sale for over MSRP. The Bronco is a better fit for our lifestyle, but if you are primarily motivated by avoiding problems, the 4Runner is a better choice. And I'm gonna add too that if Toyota built that surf concept with the removable roof, that reminds me very much of the first gen Toyota 4Runner that I loved ever so much, I would be severely tempted to buy one. Did we miss any remarks? If so, tell us in the comment section. And now it's our daughter's time to shine. Child, can you tell us what is your favorite feature in the Toyota 4Runner?
I like the orangey stitching because it looks like my favorite type of mac and cheese.
You know, I wouldn't have thought, A, that food should be that color because it's really vivid, and B, that mac and cheese color would work so well in a rugged SUV context, but it really does. Family, I think we've done a good job reviewing the Toyota 4Runner. May I have a 5 and a 5, and you come get your high five. Blammo! And now please enjoy our AI-generated synopsis song about the Toyota 4Runner.